cradle. Our protective shell became a deadly trap. It got too small and we wouldn't stop growing. We had to get out. We challenged the stars, but they were beyond our reach. It would seem that, as a species, we have finally reached our limit. Until now. Introducing the core. Using the latest advancements in biotechnology, we can digitize what makes us human. Creativity, consciousness, resilience, empathy, and store it in secure psyche units. Cores. Enter the era of portable population. On the far side of the universe, we found a place to start again. We build Mobius, an orbital city floating above planet Vulcan. There, stored securely in cores, the future citizens await its completion. Free of past limitations, we have finally conquered time and space. With core technology, we render human life cycle obsolete. Thus, Project Eden began.
Targets neutralized.
Warning, core stream unstable. Core Ripper deactivated. Objective, locate defunct hyperunit. Restore Core Ripper function.
Reader breached. All units on high alert.
You'll end up in trash.
Now, look at you. Hyperunit's first baby steps. Run, jump, finger on the trigger. I suggest haste. The situation is suboptimal. You need to find a defunct hyperunit. Piece by piece, assemble yourself back together. Try to make this run worthwhile.
ISF Arsenal Depot breached. POC weaponry unlocked. Hyperunit in range.
This hyperunit was destroyed during the last run. Never a pleasant look, is it? A constant reminder of what we need to endure.
Establishing connection. Core Ripper active. Hyperunit is mission go.
Well done, Aska. Now you're complete.
Warning, ISC units inbound.
Bring these clowns to the ground. Unleash your hyperpower. Rip their cores out. You know you want to.
Reporting an unknown.
bigger than you and I, Asuka. The road we walk is paved by those who shared this dream before me. And even more, by those who wanted to oppose it. I'm not going to lie to you. I despise delusive content above all.
Survival rating drops to 0.554%.
As hard as I try to flex the muscles of my optimism, at this moment they feel a little bit atrophied.
Techno-hormone balance restored. Dopamine levels are nominal.
Discourage you. You are determined to do your best. So I suppose your best will have to suffice. of success. This is exactly what hyper units were made for. Maybe what they said is true. Maybe by wanting more than we need, we brought darkness into this world. Between life and death, did we ever have a choice? In despair, we raise our heads up into the light and crawl out of the darkness. As much as it hurts, the only way out is through. Surface elevator to Vulcan is open. Now we just need to get there.
Warning. ISC units inbound. Warning. ISC units inbound.
Target's down.
The pain is over. For now. Good run, Hyper. Now let's get you back.
Dopamine administered. Rebuild. Plastics engaged. Backup frame check completed. Gyroplastics administered. Field balance check completed. Rebuild sequence complete. Receptors calibration in progress. Calibration complete. Hyper unit ready for briefing.
Such a tiny thing. Yet the power it holds never ceases to amaze me. The existence of every Mobius citizen is bound to it. Yours, mine. This is the seed of the project. Humans love shiny things, and so blinded by its awesome life-giving light, they failed to notice what was hiding in its shadow. I warned the others, but they wouldn't listen. I warned them of the erosion. They didn't see it until it was too late. It corrupted the other engineers and brought the project to a halt. Years passed, eons. Mobius is sick now, suffering from an erosion tumor. Eden is waiting for the cure, waiting for you, Vasca.
Hyper unit ready for briefing. Remember, this is a rescue operation. Our target is a hive prison, sealed off by an erosion field. It's towering above the very center of Mobius. Disable the erosion field, find your way into the hive. Set the citizens free. Internal Defense Corps are subject to the engineers' orders, so remember, you are infiltrating hostile territory. They will send everything they have to stop us. Now that the surface elevator is open, you need to get to it as fast as you can and descend to Vulcan, the defunct mining colony below Mobius City.
Find and retrieve the lost core memory file from one of the engineers. But no need to worry. It's been dead for a very long time.
Hyper unit, confirm your status.
Is something bothering you?
Just some noise in my core.
Hyper unit, confirm your status.
In the name of duty, courage, and truth, I will protect the citizens.
We are making progress. It is not by accident. It is by design.
Hyper unit is mission go. Prepare for deployment. Mission start in 3, 2, 1. Commencing orbital strike. Give 'em hell, Hyper.
Every corner here reeks of it. A wolf in sheep's clothing called a compromise. Once we return to Vulcan and awaken the second engineer, we'll stir things up.
neutralized.
Dopamine and cortisol levels stabilized. All systems back to nominal.
I can feel the hormonal spike. The neurochemical waterfall. That was exhilarating. The engineers are out there looking for us. They know we opened the surface elevator, and they know you're coming. Now move fast and break stuff. You need to hurry up. The surface elevator has a limited time window. You've got one chance to catch it before it's gone.
Target in sight. Entering action zone.
The perseverance of the city's defense system is startling. But like any rigid system, its demise is inevitable. Whatever they throw at us is no match for a hyper unit.
Does CDC have hyper units like me at their disposal?
No, that was the plan, but it wasn't approved by the committee. They were just too stupid for this stuff, scared of losing their old ways. The project had to be finished, so to speak, under the radar. And now we need to save them from themselves. Funnily enough, the cleaners also use core technology. But compared to your advancement, they're a mere parody.
Approaching central sector.
There it is. Our passage to Vulcan. Can you get there for me, please?
Enemy neutralized. You're so special. Striking from above, cutting through the air. They will never see you coming. You are my shining star. Now get out there and shine. Target in sight.
They had one job. They could have built anything. A fresh start for humanity. You know, a house, a garden, and a dog. But then came corporate strategy, agile development, and resource planning. What did we end up with? The biggest block of flats in the universe. Forever trapped within the vicious cycle of iteration. It's not progress. It's the ninth circle of hell on a Kanban board.
forces neutralized.
This is Mission Control. Entering Vulcan airspace. Right on target. Drop zone clear.
This is where it all went down. A fracture, followed by a bang.
Hyper unit, stand by for new mission objective. Mission objective updated. Give 'em hell, Hyper.
Engineers tried to kill me under the false pretense of reconciliation. These lunatics lured me into a trap. What happened after changed the face of the planet forever.
Warning. ISC units inbound.
Targets down.
destroying all in its wake. During the explosion, an engineer by the name of Guardian was killed. And with her death, any hope of reconciliation was lost. With erosion spills. Vulcan's veins were ripped inside out. We need to go up the Red River until we reach its foul source. One by one, peel away its secrets.
Engineers created Project Eden. I didn't think they could die.
Engineers are indeed powerful. But being tied to cores, our existence is also susceptible to erosion. Ground zero of an erosion bomb. Ion radiation flying at you 200,000 miles per second is pretty lethal. Truth be told, I didn't. The committee never embraced the real possibilities of core technology. Core streaming was deemed unpredictable. Further research forbidden. They couldn't control it, so they shut it down.
Target's down.
Out of the bag. I managed to back up my core on NG-297, floating above the planet's orbit. My body is somewhere there, in the desert. But I am still here. I survived because I didn't obey orders. One might think building an orbital city in the far corner of the universe must have cost a few bucks, right? Raw mineral deposits. That's what lured in the investors. They never cared about Mobius. What they really wanted was down here, below the city. By funding the project, they could put their greedy fat fingers into the planet. I'm afraid they will never quite get their money back. Given the differences between us, the conflict was essentially inevitable. Still, for the first time in a long time, I feel a glint of hope. We've learned our lesson. We can bring this project back from the ashes and finally make it work like it was supposed to in the first place. Takes now is the right amount of pressure on a specific point.
I'll throw you in the grinder.
Target's down.
Can you hear it? Concealed from the outside world. Buried deep within this pyramid lies the Guardian's core. Slow and faint after all these years. It's still beating. No matter how deep they hide her, I can still hear it calling. It wants to be found.
Just a purge of this world. Proper cleaning. Special cleaning technique. I will wipe you out of existence. Last resort. Stop.
Our duty is to uncover the truth and stick it in the engineer's face. We won't let them look away. She assumed that, given the opportunity, every human has value. I'd like to believe it, but it was something I just never got to see. My experience has shown me that the probability of failure depends on the number of persons. Engineers, I was often told I was the most demanding. I only ever wanted what's best for the project. Was I asking too much? You must be close now. Look for the entrance to the tomb. Engineers, she was the caring one. She cared about the citizens first and foremost. Even I looked up to her. They used it against me. We're here to make sure that this sacrifice was...
Activating field scanner. Warning. Apex core gateway open. Awaiting hyperlink connection. Hyperlink connected. Apex core fusion in progress.
Before the tree dies, it blossoms one last time with an abundance of seeds. It's called a death bloom. And so, amidst decay, life carries on.
Warning. Hypersystem overload in 3, 2, 1. Overload.
Rest in peace, Guardian.
Dopamine administered. Rebuild. Plastics engaged. Backup frame check completed. Gyroplastics administered. Nom field balance check completed. Rebuild sequence complete. Stand by for unit calibration. Warning. Receptors calibration in progress. Decalibration took 2.3 seconds longer than usual. Decalibration rerun recommended.
Proceed.
Calibration complete. Hyper unit ready for briefing.
Death and sacrifice. Mobius's history is riddled with this stupid drama. It's incredibly simple, really. If the others hadn't meddled, the Guardian would still be alive. You saw it. Now you understand the importance of our mission. We must never let this happen again. There is someone in the city mainframe whom we need to get to. A figure of somewhat unsavory reputation. The Operator. The very thought of working with him nauseates me. He is the only one capable of waking up the second engineer. The Architect. Deep down in the depths of Vulcan. You must retrieve the Architect's Apex core. Connecting with the Guardian's core definitely had an impact on you. How do you feel?
I feel stronger.
We're playing with a double-edged sword here. Acquiring Apex cores will boost your hyperpowers, but it will make you increasingly prone to the erosion.
Hyperunit, confirm your status. Hyperunit, confirm your status.
In the name of duty, courage, and truth, I will protect the citizens.
The citizens dwell in the dark. We are their only hope. Let's strive to make it to the finish line.
Hyperunit is mission go. Prepare for deployment. Mission start in 3, 2, 1. Commencing orbital strike. Give 'em hell, Hyper. Zone clear. Hyperunit, stand by for mission objective. Mission objective updated. Give 'em hell, Hyper.
You've got to reach the mainframe and find that old geezer. He used to be called the Operator. But given how things are running here now, he's more of a caretaker.
Cleaner units ahead.
Assimilating an Apex core exposed you to the Engineer's raw data stream. The Engineers might want to use it to sabotage our mission. It's nothing to worry about. Just junk data we have to flush out every now and then. The chance of side effects is slim.
What kind of side effects?
It's prone to overload your system, messing up your cognitive functions. In other words, you cannot always trust your judgment.
milligrams cortisol. Techno-hormone balance is nominal.
Now you understand why we constantly have to monitor your status. We don't want you to catch something.
If I had it, what would be the symptoms?
Hesitation. Self-doubt. Very uncommon for a hyper unit. Don't worry. Nothing we cannot handle with small drugs. Engineer's territory. This one is called the Overseer. It's better we stay out of his sight. Himself anymore. Surrounded by his spy drones, he checks for everything. Can you smell it? His optical camouflage infused with erosion cells. His redolent. with the most peculiar smell. The stench of rotten fish. Working anymore. The involuntary reflexes of a dying organism. Just looking at this place gives me physical pain. Because of what it might have become. An insufferable feeling of loss. See what we're dealing with.
Does the operator pose any threat?
I don't think so. It's no more dangerous than going to your creepy uncle's birthday.
target's down.
Sorry about the neighbors. There's always trouble with them. You see, they are like lights in the head.
There is something you should know. I had to strike a certain deal with the operator. It will require certain actions you may consider uncomfortable, operationally tedious, and somewhat disturbing. The manner of this operation may break down our communication for a while. We will come out of this stronger. See you on the other side.
Nexus was not lying about you. You are next-gen in every respect. Don't be afraid now, Starshine. Come closer. To get to the second engineer, you'll need a key. And only I have it. More precisely, I am the king. I've been stuck here for a bit too long. From now on, we will work together. My brains and your high-tech skills. You and I, Starshine, are going to make a great team. Oh, yes! That's far more like it. Finally out of this rotten cage. Look, getting to Vulcan is easy. It's right below us. But that doesn't mean we jump. Got it? Align one of these service elevators first. And then it's one hyper-class trip to hell.
Hyper-unit, stand by for mission objective. Mission objective updated. Give him hell, Hyper.
Just go easy on the running jump, Starshine. You don't want the old man to get sick now, do you? Nexus off your back must feel kind of good, huh? This guy is just no fun. Don't worry, I won't tell you. He's a good kid. Okay, maybe not too good. Smart, but oh so wet behind the ears.
You've been here since the beginning?
Oh, you bet I've been. From its inception to its discontinuation. This has seen all. In the beginning, oh, you should have seen it. The energy, the excitement. It was all wine and honey for a time. Didn't last long, though. became impossible. With their backs turned to each other, unable to communicate, the engineers had lost their way. That was the real erosion. Not in one day, but slowly, like a virus, it all started to fall apart. With no visible progress, one by one, investors started to back off. Construction was halted, and then came the great collapse. Earth's market went down, and soon all the rats fled the ship. So, yeah, that's when the engineers really started to lose it.
Is that when the erosion bomb went off?
It went head to head and then boom! It didn't end well.
Couldn't you help it? You sound rather capable.
Maybe I could have, but did they ever ask for help? No. Cargo Depot 202H. I designed the backup frame for these assembly lines with just 2,000 lines of code. Now show me any of these young pricks doing that. It's never mind.
Warning. ISP units inbound.
data is aligning. Great. What's that smell? Scent. It's the Overseer. Maybe we can get past him. He's seen us. He's gonna try to take us down. Hurry up, Starshine, or we're toast! There! Faster! We did it, Starshine! All right, Starshine. We are not out of the woods yet. Try to get to the other side of that rim. There's too fishy around here.
Hyper unit, stand by for... New mission objective. Mission confirmed. Give them hell, Hyper.
Let's say you somehow managed to get to the hive. You know you won't find any actual living people there, right? Citizens are just data stored within cores. The same cores you rip in such fashion out of these clueless security clowns.
I'm kind of busy here. What's your point?
The point is, your core is different. Every time you kill an enemy unit, one of these poor bastards really dies. You are built on a phantom core. If you die, your data can be restored. That makes you basically immortal. You, my dear, are forbidden science. This area is shut tight. If we can get through the ventilation shaft, look for an operation room. We should be safe. For the moment.
Hostiles. So if I die during the mission, what happens to you?
Even if not for the same reasons, we are united by a mutual interest, like bees and flowers. It is unproven and untested. So let's make sure that death is out of the mission log, okay?
Sounds like you're just tagging along. Engaging. Target's down.
Circus elevator and away from the overseer's prying eyes. A walk in the park or a gut-wrenching run for our lives. Don't do it again. Streaming your data from the orbit must be a pretty powerful one. That brings up an interesting question. Who are you really? Starshine?
I don't think I get you.
Wanna hear a secret? Come closer. You are one. Dang! He's eavesdropping. She's nexus. You really are no fun. Didn't hurt to try, though.
Cleaner units in sight.
Show them your hyper moves.
core-based, is it?
Not many know this, but suppose I can tell you I am an entity born within a sea of information.
So, you're a router.
You and your engineers can mock me all you want, but when the shit hits the fan, you'll come back running to the good old operator. More steps and we're done here.
Should there be this many drones around?
Fuck! He's here! Can't this stupid thing go any faster? Fuck! Damn it! He's got us trapped.
I warned you. Your persistence leaves me no choice.
This is enough! I have stopped you before, and will do so until one of us dies. Now let's settle this once and for all. Again!
your tail, you stinking bastard!
Can you hear me, Asuka? It's not too late. You can still stop this. Something was hidden deep within you. Only you can find it. I believe in you.
deadly pursuit and a jump from orbit. Tell me, Starshine, is that how your day usually goes?
Recently? I guess so.
Agreed. Stand by for new mission objective. Mission objective updated. Give them hell, Michael.
Vulcan, the Architect's domain. Once right like an udder, sucked dry and let to die by our only founders. Good to be back. Who knew some dusty though? Remember, let's stick to the plan. We'll get this place up and running.
What is the plan, actually?
We must find the architect, the second engineer. He built this place. Don't worry, though. He was always more of a mellow type. Maybe a bit touchy or paranoid. Come to think of it, this place is probably full of traps.
Target's down.
Of all engineers, he was holding back the most. Avoiding confrontation. He just wanted everybody to get along. Well, guess how that worked out. After the engineers quarrel, he shut himself away from the outside world. Nobody's heard from him ever since. After all these years, it may be as good as
Target's down. And when we find him, what then?
You can take his Apex core. I have no use for it. It his body, I will gain access to planetary controls. Shake this place up a bit. What about you? After you rescue the citizens, what then? You all become one big happy family. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be just fine.
Target's down. Find my pepper spray.
No, it's nothing like that. It's a job offer. I will nominate you as my personal security guard. Think about it. My prospects are on the rise.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll, think about it.
Sure. But don't leave. This is a tough season. From up there. Something is not right.
What do you mean? We're up and running.
Exactly. That's what bothers me. If it's going so well, why can't I shake this feeling I'm heading into a trap?
Relax.
Nexus always keeps his shit to himself. He's capable of many fucked up things. He is onto something. How solid.
You will get your new body. I will get an Apex core. That's it.
You don't know him, darling. He's dangerous. Like anyone who believes his own lies. Do you know what an egg is?
An egg?
It's purely abstract for you. After all, you have never seen one. The egg keeps the fetus warm and safe. But at some point, it needs to hatch. If it stays inside the egg for too long, it's gonna die. In order to survive, it must destroy the very thing that brought it to life.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Promise me that when the time comes and you're ready, you will also break your shell.
Right.
Promise?
Promise.
Then brace yourself, motherfuckers! The Hyper Team is going in! No comments. No nothing.
Don't hold your breath, old man.
Warning. ISC units inbound.
Target's down.
This is basically Eden's command center. It holds many secrets. They need to be taken care of by somebody who doesn't mind getting his hands dirty. Be careful, Starshine. We're fairly close. That is one long corridor. What's on the other side? Whatever the outcome, it's been quite an adventure. You made it, Starshine! You are Hyper, no less! What are you waiting for? Let's wake this metal child up!
Establishing signal.
He's been sleeping for too long now. Patch me in!
Connecting. Parasite host bridge active.
Our path ends here, Starshine. Don't forget what you promised.
Host connected. Auxiliary control.
Familiar. Shining traveler. Is that really us? I thought you might come. I think it's better you have it. I don't want it anymore. I'm just tired of fighting. I'd rather go back to how it was before. Goodbye, Asuka.
complete. Erosion hazard. Some core clusters locked. Mission objective is to access the erosion field generator and shut it down. After the EFG is turned off, the Hive prison will become accessible. You need to infiltrate it and rescue the citizens. Expect heavy enemy impedance. Mission briefing concluded.
Did you have a good time? Chatting away about eggshells and how I'm no fun. I was too trustful. Letting you go like this was a mistake. Now we all have to pay for it. Engineers inoculate you with their lies, turning you against me. Our mission is already hanging by a thread. I worked my guts out to achieve this. I will not see it spoiled. You think I enjoy doing this? You know how much I care about you. Don't make me do this.
Hyperunit, confirm your status. Hyperunit, confirm your status.
Show me that you are better than that. That you are still with me. Now, say it.
In the name of duty, courage, and truth, I will protect the citizens.
Hyperunit is mission go. Mission start in 3, 2, 1. Commencing orbital strike.
reminds me of how we started. In the beginning, you used to die. A lot. Remember?
Target's down.
Success will teach you nothing, but the failure. Failure will never let you down. Be mindful as we are entering particularly difficult surroundings. Intense erosion presence. Nothing short of a dead zone. Just another working day. The feeling of almost comforting solitude. Past problems, hopes, disappointments. They all feel so distant, like they never happened. All that's left of it is you. Here, alone, at the heart of it all. Running across the rubble of the old world, free of its mortifying weight on our shoulders. A blank slate. That was always the goal. Our differences aside, the other engineers believed in this. We made a promise that we would do anything to escape this trap, even if we have to bite our own legs off. this place, memories come at you relentlessly. But within our mind, their true nature is distorted. Instead of information, they become malware, deceiving you, slowing you down, making you question things, giving nothing in return.
Target's down.
City defense resistance is intensifying. It's good. We must be closing in on the generator. Here is how strong will and determination prevail against even the most overwhelming odds. Can you feel it? As we reach the hive, pieces of the plan that were fluctuating for so long finally fall into place. It's becoming harder to suppress the forthcoming excitement. There. We were born among the stars, high and above this wretched place. And we will carry the light to where it is darkest. Show them what you're made of. as if guided by some unknown force. That's what people usually say, right? I can't help but laugh. Why can't we embrace the fact that we are truly the architects of our own fortune?
Hyper unit, stand by for new mission objective. Mission confirmed. Give them hell, Hyper.
It's because sometimes things just don't work out. And we need someone to blame. excited. But at this point, I feel kinda empty. Reaching an impossible goal can make you feel this way. In time, we will establish new connections and learn how to be the next version of ourselves. After all, the only constant in life is change. Your mission is over. You ran across the edge of the world and you made it. All 3 engineer cores are now united within you, Asuka. It's good to see you with my own eyes. Can you hear them? The citizens are waiting. Let's bring all 4 engineer cores together. It's time we drop these inferior shells. Riddled with self-doubt and contradictions. Release ourselves from the chains that bind us. The future looks so promising. Now, we are equals. I'm so happy we finally made it, Asuka. You have no idea how long I have waited for this. Waited for you. I trusted you! You said you were with me! I opened before you and you brought a fucking bomb! You've ruined everything! If this is how you want to run it, fine! But if I'm going down, you are coming with me! Let's shine together! Asuka!
People crave shiny things. They want to make them their own. Because they shine so beautifully. But once they catch it, the light is gone. I remember you. You wanted us to be together. You wanted it too much. If you want me to shine, you have to let me go. In the name of duty, courage, and truth, I will protect the citizens from you. You took something that wasn't yours.
Yeah. It's time I gave it back to you. Sorry it took so long.
It's okay. It's almost time. Let's go. We are the 4 engineers. We wanted to create a new home in the stars. We've had our differences. But now that we understand each other, we leave them behind. We're standing on the edge of the unknown, and the wind is rising. This time, we're gonna make things right.
You made it. You brought us back together. Thank you, Asuka.
Warning, core data stream limit exceeded. Warning, data system unstable. Parametric failure. Setup defaults failure. Warning, front I/O failure. Error. Systems overload. Air temperature sensor failure. Initializing emergency procedures.
Looks like this is it. You guys ready?
I'm here. Yep. All good.
I'm with you, Asuka.
All right. Buckle up, nerds. Let's get out of here.
Warning, limit breach. Warning.
Rescue Rover 12 to Mothership. We've got her. I repeat, we've got her.
Bring her home, Captain. And be careful. She is very special.
off.